everyone. I'm Donna Bush with your CIG TV News Brief on this Wednesday. Well, every September, thousands of prevention, treatment, and recovery programs and facilities around the world celebrate Recovery Month.
Recovery Month is an important observance because it serves two purposes. The first is to celebrate the gains made by those in recovery. The second is to educate the community about the importance of substance use treatment and mental health services to the recovery process. Now, these services play a key role in helping individuals with substance use and mental disorders live healthy, happy, and fulfilling lives. As a ministry, we cannot reach our goal of strengthening national public health without addressing substance use disorders, which is why services that empower individuals towards recovery is so vital.
For details on Recovery Month activities right here in the Cayman Islands, you can go online to dcs.gov.ky/CHRC. Well, on News Brief Tuesday, we told you about the financial assistance bill that would overhaul services which help the most vulnerable here in the Cayman Islands. Today, we hear more from the Minister for Investment, Innovation and Social Development, the Honorable Andre Ebanks, who says government wants to take a more holistic approach to the Poor Persons Relief Act that was enacted back in 1964. The legislation will affect various government departments, including the NAU, or the Needs Assessment Unit.
So the purpose of the legislation is to repeal and replace that law and insert a piece of legislation that provides a proper framework that redesigns in terms of who is the department, what's their title in law, which doesn't exist, what is the powers of the department, who is eligible for services, on what basis, what conditions might be placed. If you're aggrieved by a decision, what is the process in which you can challenge a decision? How can you appeal a decision? Are there any criminal penalties that are either placed on the department in terms of the information confidentiality they must keep, and on the applicant in case they were to submit any information that's misleading, because at the end of the day, you're receiving government funds. And then once that framework is laid, then phase two, if the House passes the legislation, House and Lord willing, it then be able to implement regulations that sets out the procedure in law.
And join us on News Brief Thursday when we hear how the legislation, if passed, would help the Needs Assessment Unit. Well, great news for government scholarship recipients. The Ministry of Education announces a temporary waiver of grade requirements for students seeking to qualify for Education Council scholarships to begin undergraduate studies this fall at accredited, recognized overseas institutions, as well as those seeking to begin further education locally. Minister for Education, the Honorable Juliana O'Connor-Connolly, remarked, following the onset of COVID-19, many students worldwide have faced extenuating circumstances that prevented them from realizing their full potential. By temporarily waiving the grade requirements for students who had been conditionally approved for scholarships to begin overseas undergraduate studies this fall, and for those seeking to begin further education programs locally, we will ensure that every Caymanian student has a chance of achieving great academic success, irrespective of their circumstances. Well, turning to the forecast this Wednesday, tonight we can expect partly cloudy skies with mainly fair skies later on, with a 20% chance of late night showers. Seas will be smooth with wave heights of less than 2 feet. The two-day outlook is for similar weather through to Friday evening. Meantime, the synopsis calls for a weak pressure gradient across the Northwest Caribbean, which will continue to support light winds and smooth seas over the Cayman Islands area. That's over the next 24 hours. A reminder that you can find the latest on local weather conditions online at weather.gov.ky. And that's it for today's news brief here on CIG Television. I'm Donna Bush, as always, thanking you for joining us and wishing you a safe and wonderful night.